Hello guys and welcome back to Endor Wars at long bloody last, am I right? So, my god, I've been waiting to get back to this. I've returned from my holiday about, well, last night, about 10ish. And yes, I had a nice time, but it did drag on a little bit. So yes, right then, now to get into the meat of things. So with the exit of the Russian Empire, that has now collapsed into revolution. Now, things will definitely become interesting. So you can already see, like, basically this would be the white factions. Potentially the white factions, I'm not too sure. I do need to finish my Revolution Under Siege playthrough, actually, but we'll see that in the future. But yes, we now have basically all this territory within our control. It's not in our direct control, well, these towns are, which is interesting. So maybe in another turn or two, maybe this will become our direct territory, which would be fantastic. We'd gain a hell of a lot more resources that way. Is the music loud enough? I'll turn it up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we no longer have any competition in the Baltic Sea, which is fantastic. So our merchant vessels are able to trade at will and be unmolested, which is fantastic. So we are sending forces to the Western Front. I'm going to send forces to Serbia as well, though, so I'm tired. I'm so very tired of Serbia being in this war, somehow. They don't deserve to be in this war any longer. They should have been defeated by now, but alas, they're being extremely bloody stubborn. So we're going to have to put a stop to that, aren't we? Yes, we are. Right then. So we do hold the, well, we do hold control of some of the important places. I mean, we have the vast majority of the towns. There's also a British force over here, which is interesting. I believe that was initially a French force, was it not? But anyway, I could very easily send the Ottoman fleet out there, couldn't I? Yeah, I think I'll have to do that at some point. I'm going to send some Ottoman forces, so I'll send some more troops over there. Well, more generals, sorry. Right then, I do apologise for the little bit of the lag, by the way. It always happens when the game just starts, so that's fine. Right, so I'm going to send the main Ottoman force, actually, the main Ottoman army. Yes, it was destined for Egypt, I do believe, but honestly, I need to knock Serbia out. If I knock Serbia out, then we are fantastic. Everything is going, well, everything's coming up Millhouse. Right then, so even in Egypt we are going very well, actually. I mean, we have taken the Suez, so we are holding that. We'll have more forces crossing soon. We are besieging Cairo, which will raise our morale if we manage to take it. There's only a regular force here, that should not be anywhere near enough. We do have these forces here, so I'm going to send this supply... Well, actually, we'll leave it here for now. Well, I was going to say we'll leave it here for now, where I can't construct a depot anyway. So we'll send these forces down here. There we go, to Suez, which is a supply station. Once we cross here, we'll have supplies. So actually, we'll send this down here. You should be there in 20 days. Hopefully that's not intercepted. In Italy, we have dug in, which is going to be quite interesting. I do have these supply wagons I do need to resupply, actually, so I'll do that right now then, shall I? Okay, we have our general promotions, okay, so we'll mix into this army, and we'll see if we have any cause available. And now, I do want to tell you guys, I do want to promise you guys, in the future, I will definitely be doing a Civil War 2 playthrough. So, if you guys are not aware, Civil War 2 is another odd game, but it is in the American Civil War. So, I will definitely play the Confederate States of America in the future, and I hope you guys would like that sort of thing, as I think it would be very interesting. It's a really good game, to be honest. Very, very good game. Okay, let's make sure we're sending all these by train. Right, so we do have some more generals over here, which we could use. Yes, we definitely need to sort out the supply situation and construct some, depots. That's the word I'm thinking of. It's been a long time. I'm having to get back into this sort of thing. Okay, so no. You could actually accept some more troops. That's interesting. So we'll give you some more troops and even a cavalry division. That's quite impressive, actually. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. Okay. I think I could send the Bulgarians back fairly soon. Or at least send them to Serbia, then they can sort out that situation. We shall be golden. Right, so we do have the German fleet which arrived over here, which is fantastic. 3,907 strength, which is brilliant. That's going to do us very, very nicely. Okay. So there's not really too much of a threat now down here. I mean, we are dug in an absolutely fantastic position, so that's great for us. I do like the option of a naval invasion once again. What am I doing here? Come on, Germany. Oh, that's the Austrian fleet. I was sending them out for some particular reason, even though they are vastly over their command limits for some apparent reason. Yeah, okay, so they need to definitely stay in port, turn off fleet bombardment. Okay. Rightio. I'm not too sure what's causing this. It's probably the fact that they just need to recover or something like that. We'll see. If we need to sort it out, we'll sort it out. Actually, what do we have here? Unspirited leader, hard to catch. He's not very good. So what we'll do is we'll take the surpriser and commerce raider, good subordinates, and cruiser hunter. This admiral knows how to use war. Ooh, that's pretty good actually. That's pretty damn good. So we'll use him and the fleet admiral to command the vast majority of this fleet, and then it'll be under much better leadership. So these are all destroyers basically, so there we go. So that is the Austrian fleet sorted out. There we go, we're now at full strength. They are leading obviously the best ships. We do have this fleet remaining here, basically our transport. And what I want to do with that, I want to get some marines. And now as we have no cash, we have no conscripts at the moment, we do have a lot of war supply though, so that's going to come in handy in the future. I do need any... Well, I do need some marine squadrons, that's something I do need. Squadrons? Divisions. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Right. Marines. We did take the guns from here, which does actually cost morale, but it should be worth it. These heavy guns, they can go to the main Austrian army. I'm not entirely sure where the main Austrian army is right now. We'll send them there for the time being then. They will take the railroad though. Oops. Okay. That is some Turkish cavalry. So we'll have them come down to here to meet up, and then they'll be added to the corps that we do form. Okay, so we have this over here. Well, actually, I could send that down here. Do we have any Austrian forces? We don't have any Austrian forces here right now. So that's something to bear in mind. So I suppose, actually, I'm going to have to send them over here. So they'll go down here, and we'll put them into an army where they can be used. Okay, so we did secure here, which is fine. Well, we haven't secured it as of yet, so we'll see. I might just have to retreat this army just in case, so we'll see how they go. They don't really have the supplies for any long actions. Okay, so we do have the Americans over here now, which is fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's okay. It should be fine for the time being. There's some supplies over here, so we may capture these potentially. Right, so we have taken this. We'll go into a offensive posture. Well, we could if the was on active service. Now, where are you going? To Sedan. You are going here then. Okay. Rightio. And you will maintain the garrison there. So there's a huge army over here actually, so we'll see what happens. So we are going to have to try and break some of these rails. With this force over here, we are out of position, but we do have the numbers there, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We are going to face another attack over here, which is obviously understandable. Let's see if there's anything that we could do to try and make it more in our favour. Okay, he's not activated. Right, we have the OHL, of course. Right, okay, you can be activated, so we'll add you in here, and we'll see if we can add some troops to your command then. How about some heavy artillery, sir? Well, that division is pretty much destroyed, isn't it? Can I give you these divisions? No. I can give you the German divisions. Let's see. I'll take the medium artillery and potentially this, potentially. But then again, I'll take this as it helps them dig in. Okay, I would like this to reduce the casualty rate. So we'll see. Right, so defensive engineers, so plus 10% defensive fire. Which is honestly too good to pass up, so we'll do that then. There we go, so we'll have another core there. Okay, could I attach anything to you? We have all these supports here, but we don't really have anyone using them right now. So what I could potentially do is spread them out, so that probably does quite well. Okay, what I'll have to do in the future is basically sort out my corps. So I have infantry only corps and cavalry only corps, and that would make things a hell of a lot better in my opinion. Right, there we go. Combine. So now you have a lot of versatility right there. And what is the... Right, so we are over here, which is obviously going to be a problem. Okay, so that's 12, but let's see. We'll take him out of the army anyway. Oh, you're over here, sorry. But there we go. So you see the strength of this army is now 1200, which is pretty impressive if I'm honest. Okay, could we... Well, we can't use the gas attacks, which would have been kind of useful, but we'll see how things develop. So what we'll do then is we'll save here, and we'll see how things go. We will have lots more forces on the fronts fairly soon. We should be able to break the Western Entente in time. Now, Britain could potentially leave the war. They could potentially leave the war, which would be absolutely catastrophic for the Western Entente, and basically lead to their defeat. Italy is getting up there in the rebels. They are getting up there. Though we do also have rebel sentiment growing in the Central Powers, which we are going to have to watch out for. Right then. So we do have Persia. We will have Afghanistan fairly soon. Now, is there any... No, we can't influence anybody else. We could print some state funds, which... 1 engagement point, 1 national morale, and 2% inflation. Inflation is here, so it is at 35%, so that's a lot of inflation. Next turn we would have 468 funds, which is okay actually. We'll try and bring the inflation down as it's not doing us any good. So these were the battles, which is fine. Okay, right then. So I think that is more or less everything sorted for the time being. Do we have anybody moving here? We don't. That's good. I don't want anybody moving where they should be moving. So make sure you stay here. Yep, good, good, good. Okay, we have these forces over here. Unfortunately, these can't enter the battle, so I could do with moving some of these troops. We also have all these Ottoman troops, actually, which I'm going to send to Serbia, actually. There we go. Have some more generals there. We should definitely help things out. And is there anything else? I do have this extra army over here, which is not full up, actually. Oh, you guys aren't going to be retreating. What are you doing? Yeah, so this army is fairly damaged by the looks. We'll give this corps commander over here. We should have room for the extra infantry division as well, which is quite good for us. Yep, there we go. So we've got a full strength army here of 64,000 men, which is fantastic. So we could move out a corps, potentially. Yeah, I could definitely... Ooh, well, we have all these commanders here. Are any of them activated? No, they're not. Okay. Let's expand the depot. This army here is to remain here, but this army over here can make its way down here. So we'll have them basically get over here. 15 days no matter what. But yeah, we'll have them set up here, and we should hopefully be able to repulse the Italian offensive once more. I mean, they are quite drawn out. I mean, they've come all this way. I doubt their supplies will be holding forever. Who is going here? Okay, 22 days. So we should be able to manage things anyway. We'll be able to reverse the situation. The Americans will probably attack, but we do have the reinforcements here to repel them, hopefully. So that's something that we can do. And this is led by Mr. Pershing. And I'm looking forward to kicking the Americans' arse out of France and back to where they belong in the Americas, where we will come from them in time. Okay, right. So save. We've saved, and let's Ooh, let's push that button, which I've already done. Okay. Now to let the time tick by. Now these forces that I do have in front of the main Entente armies are in a dangerous position, but they do have a escape route, which is good. And they're also preventing... they're in a nice position. If they can dig in, well, especially dig in Saint-Ville or Saint-Mihiel, I can't remember what the name of the city was, or the town was. But if they can dig in there, which is fantastic, they can prevent the escape, or at least drastically slow their escape. We should be good. I need to try and just wipe out these forces. Now, as you can see from the fire on the map, like basically the burning like supplies, they raise the area here, so they're going to be they're going to have even less supply here. So in Metz, I don't know if they will receive supply from Metz. I imagine they probably will, but we will retake Metz soon enough, and perhaps even. Once we have sufficient forces here, we could retake Metz by force, and then this army is going to be screwed. Right, so they are moving down here, so they maybe move in here. I'm not too sure, actually. They've only got two choices on this rail line. Most likely here. I don't know why they're impassive. I don't like them being impassive. I'm pretty sure I didn't tell them to go passive, but we'll have to see what happens. Okay. Very interested to see what will happen. Looking forward to when our reinforcements arrive as well. That will be brilliant. All the forces that have been fighting on the east for the last 3 years will come. Okay. So it looks like all the forces that were in Metz are going to attack our forces once again in the hills. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Repression Veillon. Right, so they do have the advantage in a lot of these things, but obviously we are dug in. So let's see. I wish they... Well, blah. Not used to talking so much again. Right, so I wish this was mountains, but it should do. What is the weather like, actually? Could I see this before? Weather. Okay, so I'm gonna guess it's going to be fine weather, yeah. Actually, no. Mud. Now, mud is fantastic. Mud will definitely help us. It's not as good as snow, but it does help. Right then, so we go for the mass forward artillery. Okay, so they do have a lot of numbers here. I'm hoping to be able to repel them. We should have reinforcements fairly soon. Okay. Yep, if we can defeat this force, that will definitely help us and potentially give us some more national morale, which is something that we desperately need. The defeat level, by the way, is not 20 as I thought it was. This is indeed 5. So, when I was panicking, I really shouldn't have. I was okay. Not that I want to be this low. We want to be high. Alright then, so our reinforcements have, of course, entered the battle, which is great. If you look over to Reims, by the way, you can see the forces have arrived there, so we'll have to see what happens. Okay. What did they start with? Was it 670? I can't remember exactly. They have lost some forces, though. Ah, here we go. Now we've got the numbers. And with our tanks, we should be able to maul their force. Dun dun. And of course, as more men arrive on the Western Front, we'll have even more men. And if they can't force another breakthrough with the amount of men they're thrown at us right now, then what are they going to do when I have even more men? And I have sufficient numbers to push them back. That's the thing. They no longer have the Russians to occupy me. They've lost that. So we'll have to see how things go. Yep, here we go. Almost outnumbering them. Okay. It's funny how you have to commentate on these numbers, isn't it? But I should imagine we'll probably see 1 or 2 battles. I think they may have been in the assault sort of stance, so if they are indeed in the assault stance, we'll see another battle or 2, which is fantastic. I do believe the battle is over as well, so let's see. Yep, German victory. 65,000 losses in the infantry for 91,000. Well, 92,000 losses on the Western Entente side, so that's brilliant. They had, well, they had about 3 times our number at the start of the battle, but that's not worked out for them. So here we go. Let's see, number of retreat attempt 1. Percentage of units which had ammunition 100%. Okay, so let's see this. No surprise, achieved no units from inside. Trench effectiveness 257%. That's very impressive. So basically, that gives us the massive defense benefits, which is amazing. They are just, they're just like trying to assault us. Right, so we did have some units which retreated. Right, so 5 elements retreated during the battle, and 8 failed their morale checks. Well, nobody was captured. It doesn't seem very easy to capture units in this game. Like, you don't see the massive, captures as you did in the real war. Okay. This, of course, was going to be bad, as the Serbians just seem to pull men out their arse from somewhere, 108,000 men. Which is actually a big threat, to be honest. I'm trying not to play it up, but it's actually quite dangerous, as it's quite close to the Austrian heartland, so we'll have to see. Right, so the British have moved forces into Cairo, that's interesting. I wonder, have they left the Metz? Oh my. I really hope that's not the... No, okay. God damn it. That's a shame, isn't it? But we should be able to retake it. And Lawrence of Arabia, you're really, really bloody irritating, aren't you? Ah, it's annoying. Okay. Right, so they're moving into Reims. We'll probably see a battle. I mean, we will be defeated here. But as long as that force remains, then I can try and break some more of these rails. And it's just tying up the Western Entente. It's just keeping them tied up. Which is great for us. Just absolutely great. Right, so the Americans have arrived here, which is interesting. I don't know if this army will be able to support them, or if they even will be a battle this turn. But it's interesting. Okay, yep, here we go. Forces at Reims, they're going to be defeated, no doubt. Yeah, okay. Only 1,000 losses, but they did take 5,700 losses, so they took a hell of a lot more losses for, well, for no reason. They had absolutely massive numerical superiority. So, yeah. Okay, right. Pershing. We'll have to see here. Defend escape route. Okay, I will agree with that one. Oh. They surely will be reinforced. Surely. They've got to be reinforced. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was going to say if they weren't going to be reinforced, then that would be so easy to defeat them. Well, to defeat them, sorry. But even so, we did give them quite a hammering. Wow, they are taking... They took 26,000 losses. Holy shit. That's great. Yeah, we did have some tanks here, so that would explain it. Well, that was pretty impressive. 376% trench effectiveness too. So if we had even enough numbers, like if we had another, I don't know, 50,000 men, we could probably have held that. But that's fine. We've inflicted 26,000 losses, taken 3,000 losses in return. That's great. Okay, so we have been forced up to position there, but that's fine. Okay. Need to get more forces into Egypt so we can take Cairo. But once we take Cairo, we'll be in a great position. And if they leave Alexandria open, I will move in there. Yes, so they retreated there. Okay. Okay. So the American force has pretty much prevented the encirclement, but we'll have to see what's in Metz. Because it looks as though there is nothing in Metz. And if there's nothing in Metz, then they've truly fucked themselves. Okay, if we could get there... What's the quickest we could get there? 11 days. Okay, let's get there. I want to be in Met. If I can get there, then brilliant. I can retake Met and hold it. Right, so we have Hottendorf over here, actually. Okay, 5 days. 5 days until we're here. That's good to know. What do we have over here? We have another army coming here to this Mohange, which is great. So it's not too far off. Right, 10 days until they arrive here. So we'll tell this army to go somewhere else, actually. I do want to try and be a massive pain in the Americans, well, in the French side, so I do want to try and maintain this corridor for future use. Okay, so we'll head over here to Sedan. How many forces are here? So this is a group of 28,000. Yeah, 29,000 men, so that should be fantastic over here. They'll have supplies, so they'll be able to last here, and just in general be a pain in their side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the rails as I leave. There we go. So we'll break those rails as we leave, so that I'll slow them down even further and just create a logistical nightmare for them, hopefully. Oh, that's pretty damn bad. Okay. 28 days. 28 days. 19 days that way. Probably the best option we've got here. Now, this army's in a bad position. A pretty bad position, so we'll have to see. Nancy's hardly defended. They do have units in there, but I don't imagine they'd be much combat capable. Right, so we do have these forces over here. So I do want to try and get them over here. So 16 days, they could be there, that's fine. Right, so we did... Right, so there's only a regular there. We're in offensive posture over here, so that's fine. I do have all these forces, actually, so what I'll do is I'll send these forces... Ooh, where could we send them? They're probably better staying here, though. This force is quite powerful. I will send them down here. Well, actually, I could do with send them then to Venice first, and then they could restock on supplies. Right, so we do have you over here, that's great. We'll send you over here, this called there. These guys need to gain their supplies back. Do we actually gain supplies here? We do. Do we have to build a supply depot? Potentially. So we'll see you. Okay, we'll give you one of these. There must be something here. Must be something here, but we'll have to wait and see then. Okay. Bulgarian force, give them that. French and Austrian-Hungarian, well, Austro-Hungarian. Give this to the army. Could we build a supply depot here? We could not, but oh well. Right, so this force over here is somewhat low. What do we have here? Italian forces. Why are they that colour? Not entirely sure. Right, so we're not seeing any events, that's something. Okay. Right, our fleet's over here. Right, so we do have the cash actually, so I'm going to recruit some naval divisions. Well, marine divisions. Let's see. Hungarian. Yes. Well, Austrian, sorry. Okay. Marines. Where are Marines? Not sure. Okay. Let's try all of them. I must be missing them. Unless... I don't know. Let's see. Let's check on Germany. Yeah, okay. Right then. So I'll have to go for some German Marine divisions then. We'll recruit them down here. And then we'll send them... Oh, I can only recruit the one. That kind of sucks. Okay. Fair enough. How about Ottoman? Whoops, that's Austrian. I need Marine divisions. That's... yeah. Okay. So I guess we're not as light to see anything there. Okay. So then the rest could go into more production, I suppose. Yeah. So we'll put a few into the line divisions, but, well, we can only afford a little bit. So we'll put 2 into Germany. Well, actually, no, we'll put the... well, just put the rest into the Austrian line forces then. Let's see.